That's not a knife. That's a knife. Welcome back, everybody. Faithful EDC here with you today. I have got the Flytanium Beef here. This is the original D2 blade Flytanium Beef, and we just had a video on this version, or not this version, but the upgraded version with the 14C 28N blade steel. And I mentioned that I was going to upgrade my D2 blade. So here we go. I got a couple new parts in. We got a set of skiff bearings. I'm in there. I might as well go ahead and upgrade to bearings. I've never upgraded bearings in any of my knives, so why not? A couple dollars for some bearings. Make this thing into a really reliable everyday carry knife that I will enjoy. Then we're going to upgrade the blade. We have the 14C 28N blade steel here. I went with stonewashed on this guy instead of the black washed like I have on the D2. Since it is a stainless steel, I don't need to worry about having a coating on it. Get that out of the way. We'll save that for later. And then I also went ahead and grabbed the upgraded hardware kit. And you will see why you want to upgrade the hardware kit here momentarily. Whenever we get to taking this thing apart, it is a little bit of a pain. I also have some Slick-em-all here for greasing the new set of bearings there. So I believe I have all the tools required. We have a T6 bit, we have a T8 bit, I have a pry bar just in case. I have a set of mini pliers. You can use Work Pros, you can use the Kinimpex. I have a plastic hammer with a Wheeler puck here, and all this will come to light here very shortly as we start to tear this down. I am going to start here with the pocket clip. We're going to take all this hardware down. I'm going to keep it all together as much as possible. I need that screw to go back in here. And like I said, you will see here momentarily on why. Loosen that screw. Loosen this screw. So all of your hardware is on the pocket clip side if you're right-handed. And that's where you need to begin. So here's your pocket clip, the bottom pocket clip screw, and now we're going to start here with the puck and the plastic mallet. We're just going to give it some light, gentle taps. Right, so I've had this apart a time or two already, and just going to tell you, it is a little bit of a struggle, but it can be done. A little bit of time, a little bit of patience, and it will come out. We'll work through it here. So, continually work on that screw there. This one here seems to be the tightest out of all of the ones that I have here. These other ones aren't too terrible, but this top one here seems to be the hardest one to come out. And like I said, these are going to get replaced and be spare parts, so I'm not too terribly worried if I gall them up or anything like that. These are just going to become spare parts here. Here's where the pry bar comes into place. And then this one here is the one that gives me so much trouble. There it goes. I did scratch up my handle a little bit. That's all right. It's going to be a user. And then I'm going to grab my pair of Work Pros. And there we go. All the hardware is out. Now we are going to get the T8 out of the pivot. We are going to reuse that screw. All of these other screws here, I'm going to go ahead and pop these in the bag. This is the screw set bag that I had. All of those are going to go away. Alright, now get yourself a microfiber cloth of any sort. This is my dirty microfiber cloth that I use for specifically cleaning up dirty knives and stuff. We're pulling the back spacer, and then we're going to pull back on our crossbar lock here, and then that will allow me to push that pivot out. There you go. Now your other scale comes out. Like I said, guys, bear with me. This is going to be a little bit longer of a video than I usually shoot for you all. Just for the sole fact that we are absolutely taking this knife down all the way. We're going to try to take care of this. Oh, we're going to probably need a T6 here for this one. Swap that out. This takes a little bit of finesse to take the thumb stud out. There we go there. Thumb stud comes out. Now, let's go ahead and grab this one and put this thumb stud in on this handle, or on this blade, I mean. You can, if you want, put a little bit of Loctite in there. Once you get this tightened up, it shouldn't come out. I may eventually throw a little bit of Loctite in there, but for right now, we're just getting this put together here. Alright, we have it all apart here. Take this Omega spring out. Take the crossbar. I want to get all this area, all this stuff clean, wiped down, and ready to go for you for reassembly. Alright, so that pin stays in there on mine. Yours might be a little bit different. And I hit the camera. So, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my crossbar, put it in there, grab the correct Omega spring, take it over the top there, through that crossbar. And there we go. There's your crossbar lock. We're going to take our other side here and line that pin up there. Then we are going to grab our scales here, or at least one of them. And then we're going to start with the back spacer here. I'm going to start off here with one of these spacers. And I'm going to start threading in the screw, hopefully. This could be a little bit tedious as small as this hardware is. Oh, that's why. The new hardware's T8, guys. Good deal. T8 screws. Let me look here. Yes, I know I put it in the wrong way. But we're going to line that up. This gets a little bit tricky. I'm going to put this back spacer in. And then we're going to put the flat on that back spacer, or on the barrel there. The barrel spacer goes towards the back of the handle. This is very hard to do on camera, but I said I was going to do it on camera for y'all. And so that's what I'm doing here. Alright, so we got one in. Set that down. Let's start another one here. Again, hardware is T8 now instead of T6. Very, very glad to have that. This one goes in much easier. And again, it goes in with the flat towards the rear of the knife. There you go. It's in now. And that's all we're going to do for right this moment. Well, I guess it falls out. Alright, get that back in there. Huh, I pulled it on out. And then, like I said, flat towards the back. Alright. Now, what we are going to do, we're going to use our Slick-em-all here. These set of bearings are brand new. They are dry. So what I'm going to do here is put some Slick-em-all in my fingers there. We are going to get these bearings all nice and lubricated here. Probably using a little bit too much, but that's okay. And then I'm going to put a little bit of Slick-em-all in here in where the bearings go to hold the bearing in place. There's one. Like I said, I have never replaced with skiff bearings before. So this is my first bearing replacement with skiffs. Alright, there you guys go. Now we have the bearings ready. So we've got to do a little bit of magic with our pivot screw here. I'm going to go ahead and lock these in. That way it quits falling out on me, because that gets annoying. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate the liners here. I'm going to slide the knife in with the bearings in there. Okay. Now it looks like the flats are on the back, just like the rest of them. We're going to begin to put that pivot in. Then we're going to take our pointer finger and we're going to push the crossbar back, and boom, there it is. It is in. Got all that grease out of it. Now what we can do is we can loosen these guys up. My Omega spring is stuck to my bit driver. And the back screw here. Like I said, I just put that on there to hold that still while I worked on that pivot there. We're going to put our Omega spring back in. There's our Omega spring. Here's our scales there. And we are working here. We're cooking with peanut oil here. Tighten that screw up. Grab our next one. Tighten that screw up. Now this is where it's going to be. You got to make sure you got the pocket clip on the right side. And if it follows the direction of everything else, that pivot, that flat should go on the back side. Yep, it sure does. And comes through. Let me guess, is our pocket clip screw is going to be T8 as well? They sure do look like it. It's not super difficult. The difficult part is getting the old stuff out. And don't cross thread. Really love that they went to T8 hardware. Don't need to over tighten it. And again, I might come back and put a little bit of Loctite on the pivot screw here. But now we're going to go through, tighten everything up. Body screws. Now the body screws on both sides will tighten instead of just one side, like the old ones. And then now we will check our action. Blade play. Nope. Boom. There you go, guys. Sorry it took so long, but wanted to bring this to you. Said I was going to. Now we have a 14C 28N blade steel, Flytanium Beef, upgraded to skiff bearings. These are very, very smooth. Very, very smooth. A little bit of blade play. Let's try to tighten this up just a little bit. Very sharp blade. There we go. Thank you very much, Flytanium. Didn't send any of this to me. I did pay for this out of my pocket. And good product. Glad you made an upgrade. Very, very cheap. So price point. Stonewash, if you want to replace the blade only, it's $10. If you want the blade with the hardware, it's $13. Worth it. Do the hardware. Get the T8 screws with the bypass, or with the center tube, and then screws on both sides. These old ones are a pain to get out, as you can see, and it went in way smoother with the new ones. Skiff bearings, I think, was $13 as well. So altogether, what? $26, under $30. This knife is a $60 knife with this D2 blade. Now if I ever break the blade, I still have one to come back to. And yeah, no longer need to worry about ever having rust issues with the D2. We've got that 14C. This will definitely be in the pocket quite a bit more. So thank you all for watching. Again, sorry for the long video. Hope you all enjoy. We're getting ready to do a Benchmade scale swap as well, so apologize for the back-to-back videos, longer videos, but appreciate the support. Thank you all very much. Hope you all have a wonderful day and enjoyed this video. Make sure to give me a like, comment, and share. Let me know what y'all think of the Flytanium upgrade. Do you think it was easy enough for you? or did any of this information help. But anyways, thank y'all. God bless.